So there's a couple of really neat things about Cloud Atlas as a movie, and I haven't read the book personally, but in terms of the film, what makes it neat is that it's directed by three really interesting filmmakers, the Wachowski siblings, who have teamed up with Tom Tykwer to tell David Mitchell, he wrote the original book, his incredibly kind of convoluted, complex story, or meta story that's composed of interlinking smaller stories that spans this incredible timeline from like a long time ago to like a long time in the future, and all the stories kind of link together, one to the next, one to the next, with themes and characters reciprocating and repeating themselves. And it's like that in the film. Each story is told by the same kind of cast of characters, and part of the pleasure of the film, all 190,000 minutes of it, is that you get to see Tom Hanks in the background, done up in crazy makeup, because he's not the prime actor in whatever story we happen to be telling. And one of the neatest things is that they never really tell you who's directing what, until you start to notice that the things that the Wachowski siblings directed seem exactly like everything else that the Wachowskis have ever directed. It's not a horrible movie. You may love it. A lot of people do. I hated it because it was really entertaining for large parts, but that entertainingness was wrapped around a radioactive hunk of shit that was the Wachowski siblings' obsession with modern primitivism. And that came out in the Matrix sequels in that one scene where you're wondering, why am I watching a whole bunch of dreadlock weirdos have a dirt rave in the middle of this movie that was ostensibly a sci-fi movie about kung fu in the future inside a computer? And what they've done in Cloud Atlas is bring that same weird obsession with modern primitivism, with dreadlocks and, futuristic societies that somehow commingle with dirty, gross people that talk like Jar Jar Binks, and polluted the whole rest of the movie with the single most irritating, awful, radioactively bad Tom Hanks doing Jar Jar Binks storyline that could ever possibly be imagined. The difference between how bad Tom Hanks is in the modern primitive section of Cloud Atlas to how good the rest of the movie is way worse than how bad Jar Jar Binks was compared to the rest of the Star Wars mythos. It's just inexplicably awful, as is the Wachowskis' inexplicably awful dedication to exploring modern primitivism. I don't get it. So what should you watch instead? A short doc that was in 2000-2001 that I saw at the LA Independent Film Festival called Delusions in Modern Primitivism. It was ahead of its time in terms of looking at the current obsession with body modification and with entertaining short documentaries that have unreliable kind of narration. It's really entertaining, about 1,000,000 times more so than watching Tom Hanks in space makeup going, "You say true, true, me say Shakespeare, and fly plane, soon comes sky god, save species." Like, it's just so bad, so bad.